Alright, so today is our first recording of finally figuring out how this program works, so I'm probably just gonna do a game just to see. So, play LeBlanc here. LeBlanc, she's an assassin, mid-lane, Ignite, AP runes, LeBlanc masteries, which are 21-7-2, or 1, I'm sorry. 22-7-1, that's usually what I run. Alright, let's see if we can find a group quickly here. So, we were doing pretty good. I mean, last game we did really well. 16-0-6. That's probably the best game I've ever had on Zed. I really just tried not to die. I mean, I was just, like, intensely trying not to die. So, yeah. This is my team. We're about to become inactive if I don't start getting people to actually play. So. Alright, so we're gonna see if they want to play. So one thing I noticed about Bjergsen was every time I saw him play, he would max distortion first, and I thought it was really odd because I just didn't know why he would want to max distortion first. But what I found out is that against champions who are also ranged like you are, you want to max your Q first because your Q is really good poke, especially. Probably the biggest counterpick to LeBlanc is going to be Annie. So if you max your Q first against Annie, you can distortion near her when she's running away, so you don't get stunned. And then afterwards, you can do your thing and kind of distortion back to where you were. Because even if you don't get if you just get a little bit of poke, even. You'll have a pretty easy time. So, yeah.
This is your captain speaking. I know a lot of you.
I went ahead and I'm trying to get my AP runes finished. I'm doing my runes for Syndra, currently working on my glyphs. I already finished my quintessences, currently working on my glyphs, getting cooldown reduction glyphs, scaling, so that at level 18 she'll have a 10% cooldown reduction as of right now, but she'll have an extra about 2% per, so that's an extra 2, 4, 6%. So it's good. We're gonna get a maximum of 16% cooldown reduction. We're pretty much gonna be able to spam it every second. If we want to get like a super amount of balls on the ground, we can do that. However, the only problem with having extremely high cooldown reduction like this is that it also reduces at early levels. So you run out of mana really fast when you do something like that. Just waiting for our jungler here, and then we'll be ready to go. See who our matchup is. If it's a melee champion, then I definitely do want to max distortion first because it's pretty easy for me to actually hit them. However, if it's somebody that's not melee, I want to max my Q first so that I can poke them from a longer range. I've never seen a scenario where somebody has maxed their chains because even though it's a really good ability and it does the most amount of damage with your mimic, it also doesn't. You can hit it far less often than anything else. So it's pretty safe to just go with your Q or your W as what to max. Okay, apparently our group has been disbanded. It's lovely. I'm going to play LeBlanc. So far, we had one really good game a couple of games ago with LeBlanc. As you can see, I went 25-3-4. I would consider that better than my Zed game. I got 7 more kills, or actually I got 9 more kills. I got only 3 more deaths, and I got only 2 less assists. So. We're just gonna wait to get a top laner and an ADC here. Kind of want to find. Okay, we are into a game here. Playing that LeBlanc. LeBlanc versus... I am, of course, versus the Infernal Annie. It seems like every time I pick LeBlanc, everybody who is mid lane picks Annie. The only thing that I could think of is if Lulu was mid, and I don't think that's gonna happen. It's always Annie usually. So Annie is probably one of LeBlanc's biggest counter picks because of the fact that she has a stun, and so when LeBlanc distortions in, it's very hard for LeBlanc to actually do anything when she stuns. The only thing that you can hope for is by the time Annie stuns, you've already distortioned back to where you originally were. That way, at least she has to catch up to you in order to actually follow up on her stun. So, if, for example, if you distortion to her, and then before she stuns you, you get back to where you originally were, then her stun will land on you on where you originally were, not where you distortion to. So you'll actually have a chance to get away as opposed to just straight up dying. Also on LeBlanc I have extra cooldown reduction, so she should be okay. Extra CDR on LeBlanc is always good. As I said before, Annie is one of LeBlanc's biggest counter picks. What I want to do in this situation is I want to max my Q, because of the fact that when I distortion in, I usually won't be close enough to actually have my distortion do damage to her. So in the case that you can't do damage to her, your best bet is to just distortion and then Q and then distortion back, so that at least you can get some poke on her before she's able to hit you. So you distortion up the lane a little bit, you Q on her, and then you distortion back. If you don't know what LeBlanc's abilities do, I will explain them shortly. So her Q is basically a giant gem that you can throw at people, and it leaves a mark on them. Okay? Very simply. Her W is called Distortion, and basically it's like Zed's W. So it allows you to teleport to a certain area, and then you can press W again to teleport back to where you originally teleported from. So you can use that. Her E is called Chains of Malice, I believe. And basically what you do with that is you shoot it at somebody, and while it's on them, you slow them. Okay, and after, I believe it's 1.5 seconds, if the chains are still on them, like they haven't gone far enough to break the chains, then it will deal extra magic damage, and it will stun them in place for an extra 1.5 seconds. Her ultimate is called Mimic, and basically all it does is it copies the last spell that she cast. So if you cast a Q, and then you cast her ult will cast a Q. But if you cast a W, her ult will cast a W. So it copies the previous spell. Now, another thing to note about Mimic is that it copies the previous spell for the entire duration that it's up. So if you use a Q on the mid laner and then you die and you come back to life and go back to lane, your ultimate isn't going to refresh just because you used Q like 2 minutes ago. It'll still be on Q because Q was the last spell that you used. So it's just based off of the last spell that you used. It's not based off of like a certain time limit and then it goes away. So if you cast a Q at 5 minutes into the game and then you don't cast another spell until 10 minutes into the game, her mimic won't change. It'll still be her Q. Alright, so we're about to get into a game. Everybody's pretty much at 100%. So hopefully we can beat this Annie in lane. What I'm going to do for now is I'm going to decide, obviously I'm going to max my Q first, but I need to decide whether this Annie is going to be an aggressive or a passive Annie. Now usually speaking, Annie is a very aggressive laner because she knows that she has that stun and she kind of hides behind that stun expecting it to actually kill people and expecting it to win her the lane. However, her stun can win her the lane. It can also put her into a bit of a pickle sometimes. So I always start Doran's Ring and 2 potions. That's just the standard start for every LeBlanc player. The only time I would ever consider switching that up is if I'm laning against a person who I really know is one of the best players that plays a real counter pick to me, like Annie. Like if I know that a pro is playing Annie, that's probably when I might switch it up and say, okay, well maybe I might want a Crystalline Flask. But even then, I think that it's better. So what I'm going to do at this point is first I'm going to help her leash. I'm going to help her leash a bit before I go into lane. So he can just go up here and throw his Q at this guy. It's not very good to just let him, you know. I think that lane should go very well for Gnar because not only is he ranged, but also his ult is a lot better for him. Right, so we're just gonna, this Annie does look like a pretty aggressive laner, so we're just gonna have to play a little bit passive for now. Alright, so we got our distortion. Alright, so she's actually going to be a passive laner, I can already tell. She's not going to want to get into a lot of fights. Except for to maybe put me down, but... Didn't get my Q off there. So we're gonna let Annie burn off her stun here. Hopefully she'll cast a spell. I want to see if she goes after me with her stun. That did not kill her. So I'm just going to have to wait for my distortion, honestly. She's sitting in lane with really low health, which is a problem. I need 140 mana at least to complete this combo. She has no more health potions, so that could probably be a really bad situation for her. So that was... I thought that would kill her, but it didn't. If I would have had my flash there, I would have killed her. But I burned my flash. So you should never burn your flash early. So I'm running low on mana here. I really need to go back really soon. But right now I'm good. I really just want to CS with my auto attack. That way when Annie does come back into lane, then I at least can have some mana to actually poke her down with. Right, so she's starting to get a lot more damage. So I really don't want to go back until level 6 here. Alright, there's level 6. So her ult actually doesn't cost anything, so you can use it if you want. She's got her stun up. I have to be careful of that. She died to Razor Beaks. So now she's got Tibbers, so I need to be a little more careful even. So we got out and we made her burn Tibbers. So 13 seconds and I have my ult up. I will be able to kill her if I manage to get my ult up before she goes back. Alright, so my ult is up. I gotta be quick about this. Alright, that was a really good ult there. So we're just going to go right back to lane with boots and the pieces to our Morellonomicon. So we got 32 to 32. Actually, we're tied on CS. So we're pretty even right now. Gonna max distortion second. Missed the tank minion there. That's bad. Never missed the tank minion. Got her again. Let's go ahead and... Oh, nope. Warwick's here. I'm going to go ahead and recall now. I'm going to load up on potions. We're going to get 3 potions. So he has a little bit more sustain. So we made her burn. We made her burn Tibbers again, which is really nice. It is 37 to 36 CS, so we're pretty much tied there. She's got a Blasting Wand, a Doran's Ring, and a Sapphire Crystal. So yeah, we're pretty even on items, and actually we're pretty even in-game. So really, at this point it's all a skill matchup. It's just whoever manages to get their skills out first. And I definitely don't discredit this Annie. I don't think that she's a bad player or anything. I think it's just I've played so many Annies that I know how her combos work now. Just getting some poke on her there. So Annie has 2 potions left. So what we want to do first is we want to waste her potions. We want to make her potions go away. The faster we do that, the faster we can get more poke on her. So she has her stun up right now. Anytime there's a swirl around Annie, that means that her stun is available, and she's probably going to use it to try to kill you. Alright, there's another kill for us. Just gonna push a little bit more. Pop a health potion. Want to stay healthy. Right. I'm gonna just push this turret a little bit. Looks like bot lane needs help, so I'm gonna go down there. Oh, the yank right into the turret, and Jack will get himself a kill. Right, we'll get that, and we'll start on our Deathfire Grasp.
Alright, we're gonna pop a health potion near our turret here. It's not necessary to go back right now. Alright, well there Warwick just really overcommitted. Like he really wanted the kill on me, so he kinda got tunnel vision and he didn't focus on when you dive somebody, your biggest focus obviously should be to kill them. But you can't always do that. It's not always possible that you just kill them.
This is your captain speaking. I know a lot of you are headed home for the holidays. I was just informed that starting tomorrow, Old Navy is having a sale, and the entire store is up to 75% off, and that's just too good to miss. We'll be making an unscheduled landing to pick up some last-minute gifts. Chances are you could all use sweaters, scarves, and cozy fleece, too. Make this holiday one to remember. Land a great deal on last-minute gifts with up to 75% off the entire store, starting tomorrow at Old Navy. Valid 12/19 to 12/24 in stores only. Alright, well, sorry, I haven't been explaining myself.
Right now, I was just trying to help them. I managed to take out some people. That was decent. Nope, she's about to die. Nope. Too much overcommitted. When you see there's 3 people there, I don't know why you would go in, but I don't know. This Gnar is just split pushing top, which is great for us because we're just getting free. I'm gonna go see if I can't steal this dragon. Four, three, two, one, zero. Good person down. What I really need right now is more mana. So I'm gonna get my DFG soon. Oh, he's dead. Alright, so let's see. There we go. Jinx split pushing. That's a good job by her. Let me get that DFG. Blitz is doing good. I'm doing pretty well for myself. We're all doing really well, actually. So far, 60 to 82 is the CS, 14 to 12 is the level. So I definitely won lane, even though I didn't get the turret first. I definitely won lane, and I'm at least proud of that. So. So Annie's got her stun. She didn't play that right, or she probably would have killed me. There we go, she's dead. That cooldown reduction is really helping me out, making sure I don't die. Alright, now I'm going to be going for my Rabadon's Death Cap. It'll be the next item on the list. Rabadon's Death Cap.
It's all smooth.
Welcome back to Dark Roast Radio, presented by Dunkin' Donuts. I'm your host with the most, DJ Dark Roast, serving up the boldest and smoothest tracks on Spotify. And now, I'm opening up the request lines. Click the banner and let yours truly brew up a bold and smooth playlist based on the music you love. All courtesy of Dunkin' Donuts' new Dark Roast Coffee, a Rainforest Alliance certified blend. Bold, smooth, and never bitter. America runs on Dunkin'. Made from 30% Rainforest Alliance certified beans. Hey, I'm Eric from Sam Adams. Sam Adams Winter Lager is here. So good. Got a little bit of sweetness, but it goes down real smooth. Light, sweet smell to it.
A little bit of orange in there.
There's a little bit of cinnamon. It makes you feel like, winter's around the corner and you're getting ready for it.
It warms you up, and it makes you feel good.
I wish they served Winter Lager all year round.
This is actually my favorite beer from Sam Adams. Even though it's a dark beer, it's not a heavy beer.
It's definitely a good beer. This is my jam, the Winter Lager. I love this more than anything in the world. Cheers. Thank you, Sam Adams. Sam Adams Winter Lager. Enjoy it while it's here.
Good kill. Alright, we're just gonna try to get as much life as we can while we're standing here. Get as much CS as we can. So Warwick is around somewhere. There he is. Gonna get rid of our Dorn's ring here. Grab our needlessly large rod. Almost have our Rabadons. Looks like we're pushing turrets fairly decently. and get our Rabadons. And last but not least, we want to go for a Void Staff here. That should be my full build. And down here, she had that Guardian Angel, so she'll be okay. See how well we can actually push here. I'm gonna try to split bush because I could really 1v1 anyone. We're very close to getting our Void Staff here, so we're going to go ahead and get a potion. Baron buff is almost up. Good job on them pushing that top turret there. They still have multiple people up. They have 3 top. So we can afford to push here. Doing pretty good on LeBlanc so far. I want to try not to get more than 3 deaths this game. She's feeding so hard. Right now she's 0 and 16. Good lord.
managing depression. It's about getting you back to you. If you're still experiencing feelings such as depressed mood and lack of energy, whether or not you're taking an antidepressant, the Forward studies may be an option. They're evaluating an investigational drug designed to work with antidepressants to see if it can help address unresolved symptoms of depression. To learn more, visit forwardstudies.com. That's forwardstudies.com.
This holiday season, buy $25 at Buffalo Wild Wings gift cards with for a future visit. Get a season bonus worth up to $100. What if everything came with a bonus? As a thank you for buying a pair of our shoes, we're going to give you a bonus shoe. Just one shoe. Yep, the left one. Okay. Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports. Promotion begins November 24, 2014. To receive the bonus, no purchase necessary. Must be 18 or older, valid in restaurant and participating U.S. locations. Void in Florida, New York, Rhode Island. Where prohibited by law. For entry without purchase information and official rules, visit BuffaloWildWings.com.
Alright, well, guess it was alright, guys.